Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Global Cap FX on Sunday. It is now the weekly outlook. Hope you all had an amazing weekend, productive weekend, a restful weekend, whatever it is that you needed at the time. I hope that you were able to accomplish that. This weekend for me has definitely been a good one. Um, did some work, had a little bit of sushi this weekend. It's first time in a while, so that was good. Uh, and then really just worked on my craft. I did quite a bit of back testing so that I can understand supply and demand a lot more, along with liquidation. So with going into this week, I plan to implement that into my strategy, just to really fine tune and get a little bit better. Because again, it's all about being better 1% every single day. So that's what we're gonna do. If you have not joined the free online course for Global Cap FX, do I need to remind you that it's free and that it's chronologically structured for anyone brand new, intermediate, or advanced looking to get some extra pieces added to your puzzle? It's set up in a way where you can really absorb it, turn around and implement it into your own strategy. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description for the free online course. But let's go ahead and get into this week. So, first off, let's rewind. Let's go back towards the end of last week. Cryptocurrency is absolutely nuts, man. There are, so my alert just went off to take out 80% of my trade. Give me 1 second. But cryptocurrency has been a complete crapshoot. There have been plenty of scenarios, plenty of events that, you know, in my opinion, have shown that cryptocurrency is losing its weight. There were speculations that, Bitcoin would be, eventually backed by gold and all of these things that really said that, the US dollar was coming to its end, or, it was reaching another level of just being broken down because, ever since the dollar has been created, it has lost its value due to, the gradual inflation and just overall, the lack of value has just constantly been decreasing. And, you know, every time something like this comes around, it's in my opinion, it's really just an opportunity for another pump and dump, right? If you know investor terminology, pump and dump is, the big ballers getting out of the market, creating fear that something's about to happen, and then once that drop happens, then that's when they put their money back into, the real investments that will generate them a profit. So cryptocurrency really up in the air. Bitcoin, XRP, crypto.com, which is the new Staples Center. They have the new naming rights for the old Staples Center. Ripple, everything has been on the decline. The most recent spike to the upside, in my opinion, again, is just another opportunity for liquidation to take place. Okay. And liquidation is essentially, the larger financial institutions jumping into the market, putting millions and millions of dollars into the market so that they can eventually pull back out. And and uh and then just continue to the downside. So that's kind of what I see about cryptocurrency. It's really just, in my opinion, just losing a lot of reputation, a lot of strength, and so we'll see how that goes. As you guys know, I don't really trade it. I mainly focus on gold and then a couple of foreign exchange pairs, but that's what we'll get into to start off this call. First things first, we'll go ahead and take a look at some news, right? So just taking a look at this week. Starting on Monday, we have quite a bit of news going on for London. You have some employment news being released. You have inflation rate for Great Britain taking place on Tuesday. So that would be a highly volatile news release right there. So definitely be aware if you're in a trade with GBP in it, because it can literally go either way. For example, inflation rate for the United States took place last week. It went down, and then it went up, and then it went down again, and then it continued to the upside where it really just completed its move. And then actually it completed in a bearish movement to cap off the week. But as you can see, once something like inflation rate gets released, there's just a lot of volatility in the market. There's a lot of volume just being played with, causing the market to go up and down. So usually what I recommend for brand new students is to wait for that news to surpass and then wait for a signal with your multiple confirmations that you utilize when you trade. So inflation, you have inflation year over year for Canada on Wednesday. Should be a fun week for me because I trade both of those. Inflation rate for Japan as well on Thursday. Yeah, so this is gonna be a busy week for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market. So right now I have USD CAD being displayed in the weekly time frame. What I've highlighted here, let me just go ahead and give you an illustration of what I see here. Okay, so initially we had a descending channel here, price then push to the downside. If we were to go to the monthly time frame or the two month time frame, this would technically be a pin bar formation right here, coming back into the consolidation that we have in this general area here. Price shoots back up, doesn't quite break the previous high that was set up right here. Creates a lower high right here. Shoots back down. Again, if we went to the monthly time frame, this movement right here would be somewhat of a pin bar. So if I went to the monthly time frame, this is what we got. You got two candles rejecting each other. Okay, so there's that. And then what I see is that price was gradually just liquidating people out. And what I mean by that is that this candle right here was the previous high, and then it got liquidated by this candle before coming back down. And get a little bit closer. This candle right here was the previous high, and then it got liquidated before another push up. Okay, same thing here. This was a previous high, and then it got liquidated before pushing back down. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of liquidating of trades. So if you were looking for a sell up here, you were right, but chances are a lot of retail traders would have their stop loss literally right above this high, this line right here. The big fish will come in, pump their money in, causing it to go up and spike up above the previous high, liquidating anybody with stop losses right above this line, then push down. Same thing happened right here. push below the low, liquidating trades, gathering more money. Same thing here, boom. And then you had another push down. And then here you can see that price started gaining a little bit momentum to the upside here. So as you can see, these candles started getting a little bit thicker. And then obviously with these right here, you have higher lows being formed, causing the market to continue to the upside. Now, what I have planned here are, it's two things. Two things could happen. Usually what I like to do sometimes is that I'll take the previous weekly candle. I'll take the previous weekly candle and just make a range out of that. So you have a high and you have a low, your floor and your ceiling, your supply and demand area. And then you would go down to the daily, take a quick look. As you can see here, price came down and retested a previous resistance area. We'll go down to the 4-hour. Price actually broke below this previous impulse right here. Broke below. And then what I did here is that I made an entry once price came back above this impulse, okay? It came back above into it. So I made a trade here. This red line is the 50% fib. So, halfway between support and resistance. So that's me. I took out 80% of my trade and I'm letting the rest run. Hold on 1 second. Close, custom, percent, 80%. I forgot I didn't have a trail on here. Commit. All right. So pretty much what I'm thinking is going to take place here. Let's go back into the weekly. So there is this general this area right here, based on this candle and this candle, where price did not come and mitigate the area. Usually the way that you will determine where areas need to be mitigated is that you would take the top candle, you would take the top of this candle, and then you would go down to the top of the next one. So this general area right here might be a place where, a retest might take place before a true descent. But if it doesn't get to that point, what I'll be paying attention to this week is this general range right here. There's a possibility that price will just come up and create a lower high formation where it just comes up right here and then starts doing this type of a motion and then start making its way down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. If it does do that, it'll be a very nice push to the downside. Definitely looking to come back into the area of 124, 1.24, 1.25, let's say 1.25 even. So that would be a solid 400 pip move. Could take a couple of weeks for it to transpire, but it'll be a good one. Let's take a look at some other ones. I haven't really looked at any other pairs. Gold definitely looks like it might still have some strength to the downside, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, because this area right here is an order block area where price could maybe set something up and then start pushing back up. But usually what happens, again, price likes to liquidate trades before actually taking off, because it needs to collect money in the market so that it has enough strength go in the direction that it wants to. And then on top of that, you know, when these liquidations happen, when they break below lows or they break above highs, usually financial institutions have trades that they need to break even on that are going in the opposite direction, and then it'll push to the right in the right way. Okay, so that's just an explanation as to why, you know, those types of things take place where you have those breaks below lows and breaks above highs. Now, just taking a quick look here, you know, price didn't even come up to touch this high up here. We definitely made some money when it did push up this way, so that was a nice move. But just taking a quick look here at the bottom, you'd have a supply zone right there. And then we'd have another supply zone right here. And then if I went to the daily time frame, you can say this is a supply zone right here. So if price is going to push up, I would like to see it at least come back in to where these wicks, are right here. I would like for it to come back into this area. Even better if it comes into if it comes into this general area right here. That'll be really good as well. So we look for a trade right there. We would put our stop loss below the previous impulse. Let me see here. Okay. Yes, I would put it pretty much below this box here. So we're looking at a 142 pip stop loss, but then we're looking at, you know, a take profit. Conservatively speaking, we would take profit here at 1866.5 roughly. That would be a 5-to-1 risk to reward if price came down into this area. Going over and taking a look at the weekly time frame of GBPJPY. Let's look at the monthly really quick, see what this looks like. So price broke above these highs right here. So this whole area right here was an order block setup. It was just going up and down, rejecting candles back and forth, and then eventually made a push to the downside. So now that we're back into this area, you know, price actually shot up above resistance, liquidated a lot of the trades that might have anticipated a sell, and then came back into the area. So let's go down into the daily time frame, take a quick look. You can see that pin bar set up that really just shot up and then came back in. And then as you can see right here, this candle made a nice little impulsive move right there. Came back up into the area right there. And then made another push. So we can even push this all the way over, okay? So there's a lot of liquidity that took place in this area. And then as you can see, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, price hovered around in it, made some exhaustion wicks at the top, and then made a push down for about 700 pips over the last 8 days. So that was a nice move. Some of my students and I caught some of the profit in that movement, which was great. And then also, guys, if just a reminder, the online course is totally free. After you finish the course, you would have access to our community Discord, where we share a lot of our analyses and really just feed off each other. Because the biggest thing for me with this company is to help people understand that this trading stuff is 90% psychological. And if you can come into a community and look at it from a perspective of not trying to get a signal from somebody, but taking somebody else's perspective and be able to be objective about what they're saying, compared to what you have to say, and then make the best decision based off what the market is showing you, then that's when you really start to become a better trader. But if you're dependent on somebody to give you a signal, you'll never become self-sufficient. You'll never become independent. And if you're not trying to become independent, then this company isn't for you, because I'm not trying to babysit. I know you guys don't want to be babysitted. Like, you want to be able to do this stuff on your own, make your own bread, pay your own bills, and not have to depend on anybody. And if one day you can turn around and share it with somebody else, have somebody make some bread for themselves because you decided to share it, that's just kudos to you, man, because you decided not to keep that knowledge for yourself. You wanted to spread the wealth, each one teach one, and that's what Global Cap is all about. So just a reminder, online course is free, so go ahead and jump in on the description down below. You can see the link. So let's continue. GBP price again came up, actually liquidated this general area right here. This whole area came back up, liquidated. Next candle right here, rejected down. I should probably change the color of these candles for anybody brand new watching. Okay, so shot up, came back down, and then really just started liquidating, gradually getting lower. This candle right here wanted to retest this down move right there, and then made another push down. So beautiful setups on this. Beautiful setups on this one. GBP is not something that's really on my watch list right now. But that's pretty much what it looks like at the moment. Overall, I do have this anticipation that price will start pushing further down. Just taking a quick look here in the weekly time frame. I made these two lines here for mitigation purposes. So as you can see with this candle, there were no wicks that came and retested, this whole area up until last week. So I'm looking to see if price will come back into this area, maybe even come all the way down, to 151, excuse me, 153.3, and then maybe even further down into the zone. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, in my opinion, it's not something that I will be looking to enter in. It's a little bit too late. If you did want to get in, you would probably mess around and get in somewhere in this area right here. All right, next we have GBP AUD. I marked this up but didn't get in the trade, so that's congratulations to me. It's all good. So one of the things that I really like to do with my students is help them see the behavior of the chart in the weekly time frame without even having to go down into a smaller time frame. If you can do that, I can't really explain like how much better you will get as a trader. If you can see a picture within a picture, without having to grab a magnifying glass and look at it, you're a different level of a trader. And that's one of the things that, my some of my students, if if they have the mechanics right, as far as the beginner stuff and the intermediate stuff, I'll start showing them how to look at the charts without even moving the time frame. So what I see here is that price pushed down. Okay, you had a high point right here. Price came actually and liquidated any stop losses here, pushed to the downside. You had another break. You had another break below this support right here. Price came back up and retested and then continued to push down. Now, what I see here is that uh, price, I would pay attention to price right here in this area. Understand that this was the previous impulse right here. Most immediate supply would be this area right here. We'd look to see if there could be any type of sell action right here in this area. Now, if it does come back into this area, understand that this wick right here on this candle says that, this is an area where price can have some trouble breaking above, okay? Again, we broke below support right here, came up, retested the previous zone. So this blue box right here, this blue zone, can be a decent area where you can be looking for another trade to enter in. If you want to hedge trade and just do, let's say you have a tendency of doing a 1% risk per trade, and let's say you want to get in because a lot of people, they have that FOMO, the fear of missing out, and they want to get in early. So if you want to get in early, you could do a 0.5 risk right here, and then if it starts giving you some drawdown and you end up getting into some drawdown and price ends up coming back in here, obviously don't immediately get into another trade. You want to wait to see if it gives you another signal, because again, it's all about finding confirmations that show you that price is going in the direction of your bias. So don't just immediately jump in just because it gets into the zone. If it does give you some some drawdown and comes up a little bit higher, wait for a signal. Don't just get in just because it's in an area of liquidity. Wait. Prime example of why you want to wait is because, USD CAD last week made a crazy pin bar right here. Crazy pin bar. Evening star, whatever you want to call it. And to start off the week, what is it doing? It's making a push to the upside. It did not just shoot down, right? So, naturally, some people might even say, oh, it's going to sell now. I just liquidated hard, but it's not ready yet. So that's why you have to wait for signals. If you really can't see what it's about to do, then yeah, go down to the smaller time frame. Understand the intricacies of the movement. But if you can get a general idea of the direction of the market by just simply looking at a larger time frame, because larger time frame means less candles. Okay, you can get really good. You can get really, really good. Um, let's see. Let's go into this one right here. So for example here, support. You got your pin bar here. Boom. This is like a demand zone. So these wicks came into the demand zone right here. These wicks came into the demand zone right here. I'm doing all this in the weekly time frame, guys. I'm doing this all in the weekly time frame. So like if you see these types of zones like this, yeah, you might, the stop loss might be a little bit larger depending on how far into the zone you get in. Okay, so oh shit. So if I was to immediately get in, go below previous impulse right here, it's be like a 90 pip stop loss, but then again, you're looking at a 300 pip take profit. So it's really just just understand where you are, understand what time frame you're in, understand how long it could possibly take for that take profit to actually hit. Um, but yeah, that's really the gist of it. I know I went pretty fast as far as what my analysis is for the week, but again, my goal is to really just get rid of all the uncertainty that's out there about day trading. When I first got introduced to foreign exchange, it was in the form of a network marketing company. And I've done network marketing before, not with day trading, but with another company, and it could definitely put a sour taste in people's mouth. These companies, they are taking products, and they're taking services and things of that nature and putting it in the business platform of a network marketing company. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you know foreign exchange is bad, or a healthy energy drink is bad for you. like, like there's science behind the drink, guys. I used to sell energy drinks that were healthy, so I digress. But anyways, yeah, man, like there's a lot of uncertainty out there, and my job here at Global Cap FX is to really just get rid of that. There there's a lot of money out there that could be made. And quite similarly to, back in the day when people had trades, pun intended, but then, they had trades, they had certain skill sets that people needed, and they needed to order, like an electrician or a plumber. Like, you still need that today. Um, Ever since electricity and houses started, you had an electrician that was doing that job, specialists. And day trading is a similar thing. If you can take the time to learn what day trading is, learn about what the potential means, and really just put the effort in. No one can take away this skill from you, because the economy is not going anywhere, which means day trading isn't going anywhere. So it's not asking you for, 8 hours of your day to learn a skill. We're not asking you to go to college to learn this skill. What day trading asks of you is to take a couple of hours a day, 1 or 2 hours, literally, not even two, do one, and just start learning. Stop making excuses as to why you can't do it. A lot of people out there, a lot of rich foreign exchange traders, like people that are actually doing well. Some of them just have a lot of arrogance, man. A lot of arrogance, and it rubs me the wrong way. And I'm here to show y'all that, if you put the damn work in, you can be on whatever level you want. You can make $1,000 a month. You can make $10,000 a month. You can make $1 million a month. Doesn't matter. You just have to put the work in. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all coming in to watch the YouTube video, watch our weekly outlook. I will see you on the next video. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. I have the links to my personal Instagram and my business Instagram down in the description, along with the free course. If you haven't jumped in, jump in the free course, and let's start making baby steps, man. It's not about hitting home runs. It's about getting one base at a time, one shot at a time. You know what I'm saying? So I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Peace. Let's see.